What's up, guys? Today we're playing the VK3002 and the Focke-Wulf 190A8. Not a whole lot to say about the VK. One of my favorite tanks, actually. Essentially, it's just a Panther. A little lower BR, a little less armor. I mean, you don't really notice the mantlet armor difference. Hull armor, you kind of do, but at 5.0, eh. I, I personally prefer it over something like the Panther D, but it is what it is. On to the first match. Alright, looks like our first match is going to be on Eastern Europe. One cap. You know, honestly, I'm not that fond of Eastern Europe. I know it's not an unpopular opinion, but Eastern Europe's just not really my favorite. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head toward probably the corner of B2. See if I can intercept some people trying to spawn camp. And if anybody decides they're not going to run toward their spawn, I guess I'll point around, try to maybe go D3, somewhere around there. Oh, that is a jump. No, it is not. I am very rusty on knowing what tanks are. For a 176. Oh, somebody shot it. Based on that tank exploding completely randomly. May have been completely unrelated, who knows. Just working. Oh, we're just gonna tank that real quick on that beat. Woo! And this is why I like the VK. Roll on over. I'm just gonna bum rush this guy. He may kill me. He may not. Alright, killed me. It appears that I might be an idiot. Unfortunate. Well, see what we can do in this Focke-Wulf 190. I actually prefer the 190s over the 109s. The extra guns act as a like a buffer for skill issues. And I'm sure you'll notice really quickly that I'll have some massive skill issues, such as literally 30 seconds ago when I died to an M44 that I should not have died to. That's a first game if I've ever seen one. Alright, so anyways, you're looking at a third game, or this is my third game on. The second game was an absolute train wreck. So, let's try for number 3. And if this one goes well, I might try to get one more game in. Battle of Hurtgen Forest. I actually enjoy this map. Not very common for people to enjoy this map. I know all of my friends hate it, but I don't mind it. Not really my least favorite. Now we're probably gonna head up into this area if I can make it, of course, and try to snipe probably over towards B. But we'll see. We'll see what we can get up to. Looks like it's not quite a full up tier. 110 spawn points means I believe is a 5-7 game. And if you don't know how to base your BR off of spawn points, 100 is a full up tier. So in my case, it would be 6.0 if it only costs 100 to spawn this medium tank. 110 would be like 5-7. 130, I believe, is just a slide up tier to 5.3, and then I believe it would be 100. It's either 150 or 160 if I didn't get up tiered at all, or if you didn't get up tiered at all, regardless. So if that helps literally anybody, I'm happy. And if you already knew that, well, congratulations. You're probably smarter than about 5% of War Thunder players. Which in this economy, that's doing pretty good. Alright, so it looks like we got a Beretta 501 right here. We're gonna be real careful about that shot. And as I say that, I'm just gonna completely whiff and I'm gonna machine gun him, because, you know, why listen to my own advice that I know literally actively speak? Alright, so we got a guy somewhere over here. And here's the biggest downside to any Panther other than the Panther 2, and that absolutely abysmal 3 kilometer or 3 mile an hour reverse gear. 2 if you're on flat ground. Really big downside to Panthers. It's almost like playing Russian MBTs, only you're not almost invulnerable from the ground. Now, of course, on top tier MBTs, you got some pretty common weak spots. Russian tanks, pretty easy to guarantee a kill if you just shoot them in the lower plate, but or breach, sometimes you'll get a one shot. Most of the time when you aim at the breach, though, you take out their breach, obviously. So, still a good shot. That was a horrible shot. Alright, can I hit that KV2 now? I can hit him. I can't do anything to him, but I can hit him. Typical low BR Russian fuel tank, just completely absorbing rounds that it absolutely should not be absorbing. That ought to kill him. Or it'll track him and I'll feel like an idiot. See if we can get one more shot into him to actually do something. That took out his turret. That's good enough. Let's see if we can kill his. That's not good. Situation. I'm an idiot. Got the right there. That guy dead. Now we're getting by a plane, and I'll gun that this way. think that T-14 is what was shooting at me. Let's see here. Oh, that looks like a tank right there. Not. That's staying in. Because if I'm anything, I'm below average, to be honest. But you know what? I'm not here to be the best War Thunder player of all time. I'm here to have fun. I hear you, you little sneaky guy. Oh boy. Well, he knows I hear him. And he knows I'm an absolute moron. Alright, so let's not get killed here, if possible. And let's let him be an idiot. Bam. Yeah, so when it comes to fighting something like the ASU-57, you gotta be really careful. Now, on something like this, that was honestly kind of lucky of me for a couple of reasons. I'm honestly shocked that my transmission ate that entire round. I've noticed here relatively recently that the German transmit, or really in general transmissions, have not been eating rounds nearly as well as they used to. Back in the day, I say back in the day, probably 2 years ago, something like the Hetzer with its massive transmission, even though the lower plate was a huge weak spot, it was really hard, kind of hard for people to capitalize on mistakes with the Hetzer, because even though they could pen your lower plate, they'd really only take the transmission, which they could flank you, yes, but if they didn't have time to flank you and you were able to aim at them, it was very easy to get punished. But now, generally, you shoot the Hetzer in the lower front plate, and goodbye, Hetzer. Alright, do I want to sit here and spawn camp? No. Is there really anything left to do? No, not really. Let's see if we can shoot this plane. That was not the right shot. And I missed the biggest problem with something like the VK3002 or the Panther D is the absolutely abysmal turret rotation, seeing as it's manual instead of electric. You really suffer. You gotta learn to turn the whole tank. It's like playing a tank destroyer, only you still can turn your turret all the way around. Well, I figured that would happen. And that's why you don't rush in and think you're invincible. Because, well, you're not. This Focke-Wulf 190 in particular, I'm not super, what's the word for it, familiar. I'm not super familiar with it. It's essentially the same as every other Focke-Wulf 190, but it's got the added benefit of having 13 mils instead of 7.92s, which, if you don't know, the 13 mils on German planes are very much similar to the American 50 cal. They don't perform quite as well as the American 50 cal, but you're gonna watch me overshoot and die here, probably. Oh? Maybe not. Well, I'm definitely gonna die now, but goodbye XP50. And, well, that's this game over with.